Dan Illman, Mike Beer. It's Ohio Derby Saturday at Thistledown. One of the major races on the undercard is the 12th. Let's throw up the field for the $250,000 Lady Jacqueline. These are fillies and mares going a mile and an eighth, and we drew a field of 10. Now, our morning line favorite is the number 5, Musical Mischief, going out for Michael McCarthy, coming off a solid runner-up effort in the Allaire DuPont behind an odds-on favorite.
Her first two starts since a little bit of a layoff here, Dan, as a new 4-year-old, they're both pretty good. I guess if she runs one of those races, she probably is the horse to beat in this race. The other good thing about her, it feels like 9 furlongs isn't really an issue for her.
And she got right up close on the pace in the Allaire DuPont. Let's see where our friends at Timeform US have her for the Lady Jacqueline. And they have Musical Mischief sitting just off of the pace, and that shouldn't be an issue because she has shown the tactical speed to win from out of it. Timeform US believes this pace could be hot. The 10 red hot last, stretching out off a mile race, can get close to the pace. Corningstone, the number 7, was able to really keep going through a prolonged bid through fast fractions last time out. Batacuda was a different horse on the lead last time.
Yeah, that does seem to be the key for Batacuda, down on the rail here. Since the trainer changed to Saffie Joseph and the return to dirt, she's been showing way more speed, and she's got a great post to use it here.
Let's start with Batacuda, who's also cross-entered in a synthetic stakes race down at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, but it does appear she's so much better on the dirt. Now, Saffie might have gotten away with one last time out this race on May 31st because he dangled her in for a $25,000 tag. There were no takers, and she won by 9.
You got to take that class drop into account, though, because he did drop her way down in class here. She's 1-5. And she looks like it. She just wins this race very easily with a new buyer top that's several lengths faster than anything she had run previously. We'll see if she can repeat it. I'm worried about 9 furlongs. I'm worried about the pace scenario. I'm obviously worried about the competition a bit too.
Magic Palace is the number 2, and she's one of the local hopes in this race, coming off of a runner-up effort behind Red Hot Last. Now, she got up close to a pretty solid pace last time out in that allowance race, and then was sort of one pace while trying hard in the stretch. Another one with tactical speed, but this is a big step up in class.
She's a gamer, and she does like a wet track if we get those conditions. But she just looks like she's in way over her head even against horses like this.
Dot Marie, the number 3, found the toughest of tough spots for her seasonal debut. They ran her during the little Belmont Stakes Festival meet at Saratoga, and she just happened to catch ways and means. It's going to be one of the favorites, it looks like, for the test at Saratoga. To draw a line through that race, you might want to draw a line through that race at Safely Kept. What you don't want to draw a line through is she's 3 for 3 at Thistledown.
That's true. That's something to hold on to, man. If you're looking for the silver lining with Dot Marie, you just found it. She likes this racetrack. You're not supposed to hold the last race against her. It's your call what you want to do with the rest of her form, which just doesn't make her a contender in here.
Kind of looking forward to seeing her stretch out. I got to look at her in the paddock and the Safely Kept. She's a big, strong-looking filly. I think a mile and an eighth will be okay. I just wonder if this is too tough. Frosty O'Toole is up next. She was 4th last time out, but she caught a sloppy track and a pretty good field. Venti Valentine's a nice New York bred, and she came right back to beat fellow straightbreds with a 78 Buyers speed figure. I saw Frosty O'Toole at Laurel 3 starts back, and she ran quite well, going a mile and a 16th. Just needs a faster race.
Yeah, that's the real problem with her. She hasn't really broken through yet. And she's actually run some good races along the way, but she hasn't run a fast one yet. And so I'm just starting to wonder if it's ever going to happen, Dan. I suppose if she just shows up here and runs the best race that she can run, she can get a piece here because I do like her running style against these horses.
Very underrated trainer, Mike Deeney as well, but 5-1 seems a little bit light against this quality field. Musical Mischief comes off a good second-place effort in the DuPont. We talked about that, and she pressed the pace from the start. Shotgun Hottie's just a better horse than she is. A mile and an eighth, not really too worried about that, Mike. She's going to be in a position to win it turning for home.
Yeah, that does seem like a benefit to her. Her running style just really seems like it's going to put her in the right position throughout this race. And then I just don't really feel like 9 furlongs is a real issue for her, Dan. So I don't think you're going to worry about that last eighth of a mile either. If she's on the lead in the stretch here, she's going to be pretty tough to beat. I think she's still got something to prove though, and she's the morning line favorite. It's not like you just look at her on paper and feel like you've got to take a short price on this horse.
The 6, Misty Vale, was off the board in this race last year, but the old 4-5 wide trip around the track rarely works. And since then, Misty Vale has done some very good work for Michael Maker. I have to admit, Never been a big fan of hers, but I respect her tactical speed because it allows her to get great trips. And those great trips helped her make a lot of money at Oaklawn over the winter before she was overmatched in the Apple Blossom.
Yeah, exactly. And she's just so consistent, man. She shows up and runs every single time. It's like the same race every time, no matter who she's facing. She always gets good trips in her races because she's pace adaptable. She can be close if it's slower. If she has to sit back a little and rally, she'll do that too. I don't know. I just think she makes a lot of sense in this race, and she's not the morning line favorite.
Three next out winners came out of the Apple Blossom, including Shotgun Hottie, who won at Pimlico, and the race winner, Adair Manor, earned a 99 buyer in the Santa Margarita at Santa Anita. Class drop for her here. Corning Stone is the 7. She's an Indiana bred, but perhaps an Indiana bred in name only, because her last race in a second level allowance at Churchill, I thought was one of the better performances of her career. That pace continued to heat up down the backstretch. She was up close to it, and then she just spurted clear from everybody. It was a good effort for red hot connections.
Yeah, I really liked that performance too. She's got other races on the go back too, Dan, that got me interested in her, and she will be forward. I mean, she does have speed, but she doesn't need the lead to be effective in her races. I think she comes into this the right way. The race two back, she finished behind Frosty O'Toole. She was the favorite that day too. I did not like the trip that she pulled in that race, and Frosty O'Toole outfinished her, but Frosty O'Toole basically did nothing in there and picked up pieces at the end. This horse had a pretty tough trip in there, I thought.
She also seems like a different horse at a mile and an eighth, 2 for 2 at this distance. She can carry that speed and that prolonged run this distance. Key to success is the number 8. This horse is in very good form. Here's her most recent start at Thistledown. The issue is this is a 3/4 of a mile race, and now not only is she stepping up in class, she's stepping way up in distance. You have to like the way she runs right by this pace setter who set pretty legitimate fractions. A mile and an eighth, well, she did compete in Western Canada going a mile and an eighth back in 2023, and she did okay. Maybe she's going to be part of the pace.
It looks like she's just a lot better now than she was when she was going longer distances in the past. We'll see, Dan. This trainer's obviously done. He's been winning at a high percentage this year. Obviously, did a good job with this horse because she's in the best form of her life right now.
Here's an interesting shipper, the 9 Yankee Dollar. This is a horse that's been running at Turf Paradise. She's won on all 3 surfaces in her career, and her most recent dirt start came in a little stake at Turf Paradise in February. Here's the Molly P Stakes going a mile, and I guess it's fair to say they're all strung out all over the track, turning for home. But Yankee Dollar still has some work to do at the 8th pole, and she's going to really dig down to win this one.
Yeah, going to grind this thing out. It really didn't look like she was going to win in mid-stretch, but she just keeps digging here, and she will just get there at the end. I don't know, man. It's not a super compelling performance, but she got the job done. She's run 2 maybe better races than that on turf since then. I kind of feel like she might be better on the grass than she is on dirt, Dan, but we'll find out. She'll be a price in here, I think.
Red Hot Lass was the pace setter in this race last year at 33-1, and she held on to finish 5th in the stretch. She's coming into this race in her usual good form. She's won 10 of 22 lifetime, including 3 in a row, 2 at the mile distance. Here's her most recent start. This is only 19 days ago in an allowance race. Red Hot Lass was very impressive winning that day, and I like that she showed the ability to sit and finish.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't think they should ride her that way in this race, though. I know she has post 10, but they should probably just come out there running, try to make the lead, and just see what happens because speed could be dangerous in races like this. It's not like there's a bunch of top horses behind her in here. I mean, if she makes the front, maybe she takes them a long way again.
The favorites in here are legitimate, but it's not like this race is cut and dry, and it's not like those horses have questions they have to answer. We'll take a look at our top selections in here, and I kind of like where you're going with Corning Stone. This horse has got a lot of upside potential. I think she's got to drift off that 7-2 morning line.
Yeah, we'll see how they wind up betting it, but your point's well taken, Dan, about her 2 starts going this 9 furlong distance, which are maybe the 2 best races of her life, and I think there's a good trip coming for this horse in this race.
While Musical Mischief is likely the horse to beat off of that, Stakes placing with a 90 buyer, I'm hoping that Misty Vale, after that little bit of a break, after running in just about every one of those Oaklawn major stakes races over the winter, can work out one of her patented good trips and get it done in here. 7561 for Mike, 6517 for me. It's the Lady Jacqueline on Ohio Derby Saturday at Thistledown. Good luck.